everyone, to another podcast of Conversations with Anne Marie. My name is Anne Marie, the Art of Healing. And for those of you who are new to my channel, thank you for being here. Don't forget to like, subscribe, hit the ding button, the bell button, so you get every notification when I share a video. Today, my guest is someone from, I would say, my first spiritual community. So I'm part of many different communities in the disclosure movement and in the spiritual movement, spiritual community and channeling community. And my guest today is someone who came into my realm when I made my very first Highway Guides Q&A in May of 2021. Her name is Tina Galati. She is a very fascinating individual with many, many gifts and talents. And today we're going to allow her to share her story and share her gifts with us. And I am so excited to learn a little bit more about this beautiful soul who is so important to my life. As a matter of fact, I'm wearing one of her talents right here. Which is this craft of jewelry making, which she does. So without further ado, I want to welcome Tina Galati to Conversations with Anne Marie. So welcome, Tina and Kitty.
This is Benny. This is my buddy.
Benny.
He likes to hang out with me in here.
Oh, he's a cosmic cat. That's all I can say.
Yes, I think we're trying to talk to each other.
Oh, I wouldn't doubt it.
My new goal is communicating with animals. I've been trying to work on that. I think they hear me, but they're not answering yet. So
I wouldn't doubt it a bit. I wouldn't doubt it a bit. So Tina, go ahead and introduce yourself to this community, to my viewers, and tell us a little bit about your spiritual journey and where you are now.
Okay, so as you said, I'm Tina Galati. My spiritual journey, it all started with A Course in Miracles. When I started that, it wasn't long into it, only maybe 3 or 4 months into it. I had these really cruddy lawn statues, a boy and a girl. They were really cute, but they were so old and cruddy and dirty, and I was going to throw them away. And I just had this thought, like, maybe I can repaint them. So I cleaned them up. It took me all summer, and I repainted them, and they came out beautiful. And I enjoyed doing it so much. I just loved it. And when I was almost done, I was getting kind of bummed out because, what am I going to do now? So I asked my sister if she had anything, and she had this really cruddy, like a pixie with butterfly wings, and the wing was broken. It was concrete. And I was like, okay, let me have it. And I was trying to think of how to fix the wing, and make it pretty. So, and that led me to finding polymer clay.
Oh.
And I made a set of wings. I wish I had pictures. I didn't even think we were going to talk about it. I made a set of wings and I painted her, and she came out absolutely beautiful. And from there, I started watching videos of polymer clay, things to do with it. And eventually I started making pendants. And then after a while, I started to transfer images onto the pendants. And I enjoyed it. I just love to do it. And I am in a community, as you are also, spirit-led with Carol Morgan, spirit-led journey. And she was talking about attunements, which we are both wearing.
Mm-hmm.
And
so just to clarify, we have a mutual friend named Carol Morgan, and we also met her through our Course in Miracles community led by Tina Louise Spalding, Channeling Jesus and Ananda. So we know Carol, and Carol, from her work with Tina, has come to be the mouthpiece, the communication for a blue avian being known as Xina Allen, Xina Allen, Allen. And there's a lovely story behind that last name of Xina. But Xina, through Carol, transmits these guys, which are called attunements. And what they are methods in which you are cleared a little bit without infringing upon your free will. When you look at these attunements, this particular attunement, which is what I have on my neck right now, is called the holder of truth. And the holder of truth says, love is all there is. Love is who you really are. In embracing yourself, you hold your truth. And so Carol draws these items, and she's not an artist. And then Tina takes these attunements and turns them into jewelry. So this is what I'm wearing on me. And so what ends up happening is when you wear these pieces of jewelry or the t-shirts or the other merchandise they have, and people see these attunements, without infringing upon their free will, it kind of, and then what they say is it kind of clears the windshield for truth and light to enter more easily into your physical vessel, into your mind, into your heart and spirit and soul. So I hope it did a good job at describing that. So continue, please, Tina.
Interesting. When I was doing the one you're wearing, the holder of truth, talking about clearing, I had a room that was full of books. I used to be a big fan of like Stephen King, Dean Koontz, all that creepy horror stuff.
Ooh, yeah.
Yeah, I would always read them, love them. But I had a huge collection of these types of books in the room I'm in now, actually. And as I was doing them, I just started getting this is not good stuff. This is not, and I was always so proud of my book collection. And I was like, okay, that's going. And I started cleaning and clearing out cabinets and so much stuff in my house that had been sitting for years. And I just had this, this stuff's got to be cleared out. It's got to go. So it really does have a definite effect. And this one I'm wearing is In Perfect Order, it's called. So Carol was doing a one of her lives, and she was talking about the attunements, and I just had this I had an idea to put the attunements on the jewelry I was making, and it wasn't just an idea in my head, it was a real wave went through my body. Like, it was like, oh my gosh, and I was just like, oh my gosh. And I was like, okay, calm down, just calm down. And I was like, okay, throw her a message and see what happens and just forget about it. And she got back to me. And so here we are. And there's a lot of them. There's so many different ones. So we're going to continue making them, and as she goes, I'll go, so it's a lot of fun. I really enjoy doing it.
And what, from my conversations with you before, it takes time and effort and work to do them too. Like, there's multiple processes involved.
Yeah. It takes a bit. It takes a while, but it's fun. I love doing it.
Marvelous. How wonderful. So continue on, talk about what other things. So, everything is guided by spirit, right? And it all has to do with impressions like what you got, this wave of, oh my gosh, this is my next step. So can you talk about how opening yourself up has changed you?
Oh my goodness.
Please.
It's changed my life entirely. I mean, I don't even know where to start. I was very, very timid, very shy, very insecure. I didn't speak up, and now I'm just very open. I would get a little nervous about something, a little than my stomach ache, horrible. Physical, physical, a fear of getting lost, which you have, thank you so much, have just, I think, completely cured me of.
Okay. Well,
Terror.
I didn't cure you. I
Well,
facilitated you healing yourself and releasing that trauma, that past life trauma that we know happened, in
yeah,
order to release it, and you can continue to live your life unencumbered with that. And also you gave a testimony on another healing that happened with my assistance, or me facilitating healing, and that's on my website. So I want to thank you for sharing that, because that's bold what you did. So if you're telling me that you were really timid, well, I'm telling you, what you shared on my website is not for the faint of heart at all. So
yeah,
way to go.
I've changed tremendously. And I used to get so angry. You hold it in, hold it in, hold it in, and then when you let out, you blow up.
Right.
And you're screaming. That was me. And now I'm just really even. It takes quite a bit to upset me. But I don't know where I would be now had I not picked up A Course in Miracles. And it was given to me by a client, one of my senior dog therapy clients. And we just started right off the bat, we got into a spiritual conversation. And she started giving me books, and she gave me that book, and it sat on my bookshelf for I don't know how long. And I finally picked it up one day, and it just changed. And another funny little story. I was, you know what a mimosa tree is? They're beautiful. They got like the powder puff flower on them. They're beautiful. And I wanted one. I had one out front. I thought it was dead. We took it down. It wasn't dead. It just was going early, bloomed later. I had no idea. I wanted another one for the longest time. I couldn't find one. And again, it wasn't long after I started Course in Miracles. I'm out weeding my front flower bed, and there was a little tiny baby growing under one of the it's the strangest place for one to grow. And I dug it up, I potted it, I let it grow, and I put it in the front yard, and it's growing out there now. It's back out there. But I've had so many things happen that just fall right into place. And it's just, the most difficult thing is having a spouse who's not on the same page with you. And it kind of, I don't know if it scares him. I think my speaking up the way I do now, he's a little unhappy with, because he married a little wallflower who didn't really have much to say. So it's kind of hard for him, But I don't know where I'd be. I think I would be in really bad shape. I think I'd be in really bad shape right now, and then
And how long is this transformation? Just by picking up A Course in Miracles?
it's been, I believe, 3 or 4 years, somewhere in there.
I mean, if you think about that, for people who don't believe that dedicating yourself to a spiritual practice is going to save you years of your life of torture and torment.
Yeah.
You really have no idea.
It's a beautiful, beautiful thing. It really is. It's
wonderful.
It's beyond words, really. I mean, I even started making pretty candles. I make so much stuff. And then I have my pet business as well. I train dogs. I love to do that, but I do therapy also. I am a certified canine massage therapist.
How wonderful.
Yes, which is really where I want to go more. I mean, I do like the training, but I love the therapy aspect.
I'm getting like big shakes from that, Tina. Ooh. Oh, yeah.
Yeah, I love that. And I focus on the seniors. I have a lot of seniors with me, but I also practice what's called photonic therapy. A lot of people don't know what that is, but you work with the red light. It's not laser, but it's a powerful red light, and you treat acupuncture points. It's very similar to acupuncture, but it's non-invasive. A lot of people say it works better than acupuncture, but you treat the points for the condition that's going on. And I've had I've had a lot of success. I had a client, I've probably been working with them for 2 years now, probably, actually over 2 years. I know we've had 2 Christmases, maybe 3. Anyway, the dog, she tore her ACL in the knee, and she was overweight. She was older, and they wanted to do the surgery, and the family, the other leg was weak also, and the family was just beside themselves. They were so upset. They didn't want to do the surgery. They didn't know what to do. And she found me, and we started doing treatments. And like acupuncture, you do 3 a week, and then you wean down. And I also work with essential oils, only Young Living, on, not to plug, but that's, if anybody starts using oils on their dog, watch what you use on pets, because it can be highly toxic if you're not using something pure. It's the only reason I wanted to throw that in there.
Thank you.
But we used that as well, and she's doing fantastic. She is fine. She's up playing. She does great. And I still do maintenance. I still go to them once a week for maintenance, and she's doing fantastic. But I've had a lot of success with the therapy.
When did you learn how to do this, the massage on the dogs? To be honest, I've never really heard of it. And I've been a dog person for 35
Yeah,
years.
there's not many of us around. I just had someone find me from New York City and came to me. But I think it was during the process of getting my dog training certification that I came upon it. I don't even remember how I found it. But I was like, that's something I would really like to do. So there is a certification program. They will send you all the bookwork and videos and all that, and you can learn everything at home. And then you have to send video of you doing the massage. So, and if you do everything good, but they have to see, there's, I believe there was tests too that you did. But
so I'm sorry, go ahead.
Go ahead. That's how I got the certification for that one. And that was in 2012, I believe, that I got that.
It's one of the
certifications. My certification is hanging on the wall back there. I think it was 2012.
Okay. How beautiful and fascinating. You are, well, we'll talk about this at the end, about all of that. Let's talk a little bit about that transformation that you made, because I think this is where people are right now. People are transitioning. They're making this shift from one type of dwelling in one certain energy, and now they're making this flip or the switch into discovering their selves, the higher self, the love of source, forgiveness, all these kind of things. Let's talk a little bit about the changes, and let's talk a little bit about the actual healing that you have gone through, because we all need that. Each and every one of us, myself included, needs to be able to figure out these traumas that we carry with us, whether they be from our current incarnation or whether they be from past incarnations. And you particularly are really someone who has made magnificent strides. And you touched on it a little bit more, but could maybe you just explain a little bit more this healing process and how you are at this now moment?
So I have always been terrified of getting lost. Okay. And I have always been very uncomfortable sexually. Always just very, and I thought they were tied together. I have always had a vivid memory of being locked in a closet. And I thought in a school, and I remember a man opening the door and looking in, and it wasn't like, oh, there's a kid in there. It was like, like, ooh, I'm back, something, and that is where I heard about your Q&A, and that is how we met. I wanted, that resolved. So we did the Q&A, got a little information, and we had a few sessions after that. And
Just want to say, I remember when you called in, and it was my first one. So
yeah,
here I am, you know me, I'm kind of like happy go lucky, la 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 la. And
yeah,
then you came in with such a heavy burden on you.
yeah,
And I remember it was Jesus who spoke to you, right?
yes,
Which
yes, with
Jesus for you.
Jordan.
And I remember he said, there's no need for further trauma at this very moment.
Mhm.
Kind of like, we're glad you're here. We're glad you came, and let's continue to work on it. And I just was like, oh my goodness.
Yeah,
So,
yeah,
yeah, go ahead,
yeah, yeah.
continue.
And the memory of that closet issue never really came clear, but the trauma did clear. It did all go away. So we had a few sessions, and what we found out was that I was lost in another lifetime. As a baby, I wandered out of the home and I got lost and I died. And that was, yeah, that was where. And I was told way back when I saw a medium or whatever, I was told that I wandered out of the house and got lost and died. And I was like, man, I don't know, is it true? It didn't alleviate the problem I had with getting lost. I mean, I would literally, in areas I knew, where I knew that I was surrounded by roads that I know, like in a development, and I would still get that stomach cramping, and literally, you know if I was somewhere I wasn't sure of, I mean, literally, like, oh no, I'm going to poop my pants. That's how bad it was. It was really horrible. Um, so what we did together was we changed the scenario of the incident. Um, if you remember, we changed the whole thing, and I can travel. I haven't like traveled out of state or anything, but I don't have that. I can be going somewhere and I'm like, oh, I wonder where this road takes me out, and I'll take it. And even in developments and stuff, I go to clients in these big developments, and I don't know where they come out, and I'm like, let me go this way. And what I know, I never had a sense of direction driving, never. And now I see now where I'm like, okay, I went this way. I have a sense of directions. This is
Wow.
this is awesome. I mean, it's awesome. And I really had this desire to like drive, you know, um, out of the state, take a long, drive. It's something I really want to do. I'm a little leery about doing it alone. I kind of feel like I want to do it alone, so I'm still,
Hmm.
that's going to come. That's going to come at one day. Um, and the whole sexual issue that I had, I mean, I think we tied that to some abuse that I had with a neighbor,
Hmm.
and that I'm not going to say my sex life is wonderful. My husband and I have issues, or distance with how we, what we believe, I think, causes a big rift. But I no longer have that discomfort. I no longer have that, don't touch me, and I was never a huggy person either. I was very uncomfortable just to hug people. And now, I have no problem with affection. I have no problem hugging, and I have no problem being touched, so it has completely really turned my life around. I mean, it's really been a beautiful thing,
Oh, that's
So,
wonderful to hear. It's
people
wonderful.
out there that poo spirituality, you really need to, get on board, because it's going to change your life.
Right. I wonder, have you noticed any changes in the relationship with the animals you work with? Have you felt like an opening up to their energy, or were you always connected with animals in a very special way?
I think I was always connected.
Mhm.
Um, but now that you mention that, actually, um, the first time you do a massage, the dogs are kind of like they don't know what's going on. They're a little antsy. And
Mm,
now that you mention it, they chill out. They chill out. That I haven't had any clients that are really all over the place. What are you doing? What are you doing? What are you doing? You know,
mhm,
I had a woman come to me. I forget the name of the disease, but the dog has uncontrollable movement,
mm.
like really throwing it's walking and throwing its arms up. They have to harness it. It can't. The head jerks. Like really bad. I was very surprised. And they came for a massage. It's a young dog. But they just thought because of the way the dog is uncontrollably moving all the time that it could use a massage. Um, and she said the only time the dog stops all of this flailing around is when he is sleeping. So she really thought, and I did too, that the dog would be flailing around during the massage. And he was not. I mean, I did the photonic therapy as well, and he was, kind of pulling his head up, and I just laid down next to him and I put my arm around his neck and he just laid down because I wanted to do a torch on the top of his head. And he just laid down and rested his arm, he rested his head.
Oh,
And the two of us just laid there for a few minutes, and I was like, and they were surprised, because when I was done, she even said, I thought he was going to be flailing around the whole time. And he just relaxed. He didn't, there was none of that throwing himself. And it was really, but now that you mention that, now you asked me that question, I was like, they may be getting, a nice little,
well,
you know,
yeah, I would hope so. I mean, it's when you clear the blockages of energy, when you clear the traumas, you
Mhm,
allow for universal love energy to flow so much more easily through your
mhm,
body.
mhm,
And it stands to reason, you're doing energetic work, even though it's massage, you're
yeah,
still channeling life force energy through your body into your hands and through. This is all love. This is all great healing. It's tied
mhm.
into it completely. Do you have any energy training at all, or that's just the massage therapy?
I actually just finished a level 1 course of healing touch for animals. Thank you,
Oh, there you
Carmen,
go.
who turned me on to it. We started having a conversation about dependence. Carmen, I think it's Carmen Carrera. I'm not sure of her life, but
Okay,
she's in Spirit Led also.
good.
Um, and she purchased a couple of pendants off of my Etsy shop. I have an Etsy shop where I sell my own stuff. Um, and we just started chatting back and forth about, I don't even know, the pendants. And then we just started getting into a conversation. We started talking about retreats, and um, I started talking about the animals, and she told me about she does energy work. Um, so she told me about this whole thing. So that is my latest journey, is doing energy work, which I've been trying on mine. My dog's only a year old, so she'll only let me, hang on to it for so long. She's like, all right, leave me alone already. Um, and the communication, I through that, um, at the end of the course, they have suggestions for reading, and they had a few books for animal communication. So I'm reading with the animal communication, and I'm trying to communicate with these guys, which when I was actually chatting with Carmen, the one day my puppy was really bugging me, and I think I was trying to read or something. And I thought in my head, I don't know if I thought in my head or I said it out loud, I'm not even sure. Just go over and look at the window, look out the window, because she likes to do that. Well, she jumped down off the couch and she went over and jumped up on the other couch and looked out the window. And I was like, wow, you know?
How about that?
Yeah, and there's been a couple times, like, Benny, you see how you always see it when we're online together.
Mhm.
I'll sit in this chair and I read, and he wants to come in my lap, and he'll just like take one step and wait for my response, and he started coming in one day, and I'm like, not right now, just relax on the arm. And he did, he laid right down on the arm and he stopped. So I'm like, am I really talking to these guys? So I think they are getting it,
Oh,
some,
yeah.
so
It's
yeah.
beautiful. It's so beautiful.
Yeah.
Ah, that's so lovely.
But
That's so
I've always
lovely.
had a love.
So tell people where you're located, just in case they might want to reach out for your healing services, your massage services for their animal. Do you do anything other than dogs, or do you do larger animals, or what?
You can do cats, the photonic therapy. You can do, larger animals. You just, it's acupuncture points.
I'm hearing horses. I'm like, wow,
Saying
horses.
I'm saying horses in my head,
Yeah.
because you can do massage on the horses. I am not certified for the horses.
I'm
Um,
really getting a hit on that one, boy.
yeah. Yeah.
All right. Well, if you hear me giggling, it's me. It's Anne Marie giggling because I get nervous. I'm like, I'm supposed to be doing something else and you're coming through right now, and I start to giggle. Wow. I'm
I
sorry.
wanted to do horses, and I came across a few people trying to let me work on their horses, but it never panned out. So I haven't gotten to horses yet.
I would
But
think, my goodness, what a business
the
that would
photonic
be.
therapy works well on horses. Yeah. I had birds also. It works really well on birds.
Ooh.
I had a big woodpecker fly into my window. I mean, it flew hard and it was down on the ground, looked like the neck was broken, and I was like, oh no. And right away I got my torch. I'm like, let me try it. So I picked it up, and its eyes were just fluttering a little bit. It was like, it was, the
Stunned.
eyes.
It was stunned.
And as soon as I put that torch on the top of its head, it just snapped out of it. And it was, I did all the other points on him, and he was still really, really, really out. And I did all the other points. I put him in a tree where I could sit and watch him. And I just sat there for probably 5 minutes, focusing light on him, trying to focus healing light on him. And he finally snapped out of it and he flew away.
Oh,
And I'm saying to and I'm sitting there for a little while, and I'm like, did I really do something, or did he just, come back? I think I might have even asked Jesus. I was like, did I really do something? And the minute I said, did I really do something? He flew out of the woods, landed on the telephone, and came to the bird feeder right in front of me. So I was like, I think that's a little sign that I might have done something. And
oh.
my sister's dog has the torn ligament in the knee also, and he's older, and he'll get a little better. Well, we do the light. She has one too. We do that. We do the oils. But then they play and it comes out again. He was doing pretty okay, but he always limped. And the one day they were playing over my house, and he hurt it really bad. He couldn't put it down. The leg was shaking really bad, and he came over to me. And so I put my hands like this on each side of the knee, and I just focused really hard, the palm chakras into the whole knee area. And I just focused. And the knee relaxed. It stopped shaking. He put his foot down slowly, and he ran away without a limp. And I was like, wow. So that was another one. Like, did you really do that? Or and I think I did, because usually when he throws it out, it's out for a while, and it takes a while for him to come back. So I'm going to keep working on it.
That's
But
beautiful.
you asked where I was. I'm in Middlesex County, New Jersey. So I service Monroe and surrounding areas, if anybody's in that area. So, but I go to people's home, in some cases I'll allow people to come to me, if they're outside of my area, with the therapy. Training, I always go to homes. With training, my opinion, with training, you really want to work in the home, because that's where the problems are. A lot of people do take away training and they come home to the same environment, and it doesn't work. It's not long before the dog is back doing what they do.
How exciting. So what new ventures do you have going on? Anything new with your jewelry?
I have been making making new stuff. I have some stuff on my Etsy shop, and I have right now I'm making some dandelion puffs.
Oh,
Dandelion puffs, they're really cute. And I just put some nice sunflowers up on there. So that's what I've been doing. I'm just adding to my Etsy shop slowly. You know, it takes a while to get found on Etsy.
okay. Well, this is going to be one way for you to get found. And these attunement necklaces, where can you find these?
These are on xinaallen.com, XINAALLEN.com.
All
And
right.
they have all kinds of really cool stuff, you know, not just pens, they have shirts and
Yeah, they have a lot of beautiful merch. Um, all right, my love. And I am so thankful. What a beautiful story you have of healing, of hope, of love. Um, and you're one of my girls. I love you dearly. I hope this brings benefit to you, and I know that your story will resonate with many souls.
I hope so.
So I didn't really want it to be like, a plug for Anne Marie or anything like that. I just wanted you to share, the fact that you transformed yourself in a matter of just a few years. Whether you use myself or anybody else that you are drawn to, the whole
Yeah,
point is
absolutely.
that
Yeah. Yeah. But a lot of, you know, we need help, you know, those that are struggling, you can't fix it on your own. You can't always fix it on your own. You know, you need somebody. And, you know, spirituality is the way to go. You know, I mean, it cleans it up and clears it out.
all right, my friends. Thank you so much, everyone who has been watching. Thank you, my dear friend Tina, for taking time out of your day to share your story with us. And once again, my name is Anne Marie, the Art of Healing, and I thank you for spending these few moments with me. I'm honored that I'm a part of your spiritual journey. Like, subscribe, and share. Check me out on AnneMarieTheArtOfHealing.com. I also have a beautiful Patreon community, which Tina is a part of, and we get together regularly to bring light and accelerate ascension, which is really what it's all about, because we are done with all this crap, y'all. I know I am. All right. I love you. I honor you, and I thank you. Ciao.